How Marion Works, a podcast series dedicated to informing you of the inner workings in all areas of Marion government and public services. Thank you for listening. Hello and welcome back. This is Season 1, Episode 17 of How Marion Works. I'm your host, Layla Price-Bodkin, and I'm joined today by my special co-host, Deana Vice. Hello, Deana.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. And we are in the Frequency Canvas studio. I just wanted to give a shout out that when we record these podcasts, they're at the Frequency Canvas studio downtown Marion on the Courthouse Square. It's a pretty cool place to be.
Absolutely.
Had to wait for that train this morning.
Oh my gosh, that train.
There's all kinds of construction, but
right?
Things are happening though. That's what that means.
That's right.
So today's episode features the Probation Division of City Government, and today's guest is Probation Officer Brent Harshman. Welcome, Brent.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Brent, we hardly ever get to talk to you. And Brent, have you ever officially met Deana? I know you've kind of had...
Just in passing, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to have an icebreaker today. Starting out, we're going to do an icebreaker about music because, Brent, I know that your office, I've been in your office a few times, and you've got some conversation starters in there. You've got a really neat office, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Name your top 2 to 3 favorite bands or musical artists. Brent, we will start with you.
Well, so obviously, if you know me, Pearl Jam is my number one. I've got posters all over the walls. I've seen them several times. That's my favorite band.
Did you get to see them recently when they came into town? I did
yeah.
too. I was there.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Awesome.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
It was surreal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think I've seen them 5 times now. So I'd like to see them a lot more than that, but they don't come to Indiana nearly as much anymore.
Yes.
And then I know another band that you and I share is Ben Harper.
Yes, right.
So I've seen them 14 times now.
Oh,
and
my word.
We actually just saw them at the Athenaeum, maybe the Palladium.
Oh, I have not been there.
And, that place is awesome. And we were right in the front row, and Ben came by and we shook his hand and stuff, and it was pretty awesome. So.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
That's amazing. He's so cool.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, I had family that got to go to that, but I couldn't go to that one.
You missed out. It was a good show.
Darn it.
Got any more you want to share?
I mean, I have a lot. Hootie and the Blowfish is probably my other one.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I'm one of those where, I go, now that satellite radio and my iPod, are things that are out there, I don't listen to anything other than what I want to listen to anymore. Right. So my wife will be like, hey, don't you know this song? And I'll say, I've never heard it before. And she'll say, everybody knows this song. And I'll say, honestly, I've never heard it because ever since about 2005, I only hear what I want to hear and nothing else.
You get into the artist.
So I'm completely oblivious to the rest of the world other than the 5 or 6 different people that I listen to.
Hey, you like what you like.
That's right.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's right. Deana, you want to go next?
Oh my gosh, this was so hard. When it comes to music, I like everything. So I don't know. I guess the ones that stand out are definitely Stained, Paramore, Led Zeppelin.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, you said you had been to that really great Stained concert.
Fleetwood Mac.
Nice.
As far as bands.
Cool.
Yeah. Sweet.
I was going to maybe say Led Zeppelin also, but man, because that's hard.
Oh, it's so hard.
But yeah, I mean, I love the Beatles, and I even took a Beatles class in college at IU. Nice. So I know a lot of trivia. I've really got to know their whole catalog, and so I do love the Beatles. I love when the tribute bands play. There's a tribute band called Rain that's really good. I'm not real into tribute bands, but those kinds are really good.
Gotcha.
I love Dave Matthews, so I have to mention Dave Matthews. And I got to meet him last year, or actually it was 2 years ago now, at Deer Creek. And it was just happenstance. Yes.
No, really?
I looked like such a geek. I had my steel-toed shoes and my fanny pack and my hard hat because I was working backstage. And I was just like, oh man, I got to go for it. I got to meet him. And I got to meet Carter a few years before that, the drummer.
Did you fan
He
out?
was super nice.
Did you fan out, or did you keep it together?
I kept it together. I had my music stuff, right? I had my card. I was
Right.
like, hey, I just want you to know that you had a great show. I wanted to give you my card because I'm a songwriter, and I just figured I would give you my card, and I'll let you go on your way. And he's like, I'm really looking forward to hearing that.
Nice.
So just
Very nice.
that question, okay, did he ever actually listen? That's pretty cool, you know?
That is very cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I want to say Red Hot Chili Peppers because
Layla,
they're just amazing.
Now you're really, I'm like, how did I not remember?
I mean, you put on Red Hot Chili Peppers and it's going to put you in such a good hype mood.
Right.
No matter what.
Yeah.
They're kind of timeless too.
They are. Absolutely.
You guys named some really good bands. Okay, so we're going to get to know you, Brent, a little bit. Basically, where you were born and raised, and just kind of go over your brief education and background.
Yeah, so I was born in Kokomo.
Okay.
And our family moved here when I was in kindergarten. So I've been in Marion ever since then.
Gotcha.
I went to Marion High School, Giants Fight Never Die.
Yes.
And so then once I graduated from there, I went to IU. I started out at IU in Bloomington and then transferred to Ball State. And that's where I graduated from with a degree in criminal justice.
Okay. And you kind of wanted to get into that field right away in college.
Kind of. I didn't know what part of that field I wanted to get into, but at least something. There wasn't a whole lot that really interested me when I got out of high school. It was kind of like, I just want to be done with this stuff. But
I hear you. I was the same way.
Yeah. I'm still not entirely sure what I want to do with my life. But,
that's okay.
We're here. Yeah. I've been here 17 years now already. So it's, I don't know that I can stay here another 25. I don't know that people will want me anymore after that point. But.
Well, this early in the morning, I can't do the math. What year were you hired with
2007.
the city? Okay, so you was that basically your first career?
So I got out of college and I worked at White's in Wabash for a year and a half with at-risk teens as a case manager, and then decided to bump over here to work with adults from that point, and so I've been here ever since.
I feel like you have a really good way of connecting with people. And, it's kind of difficult to connect with the younger generation.
Yeah.
And so what helps you just kind of connect with them?
Honestly, it's kind of like, I don't know if anybody's going to see the pictures of this. You're never going to see me in a suit and tie at City Hall. I'm not the type of person who wants to be the authority figure or, the big boss. I want to be somebody's big brother, or now it's about to father ages, because the time that I've been here, I've done, I've had grandparents, people, their grandkids, all that stuff on probation with me, generations of people that I've had. So just trying to stay more on their level instead of feeling like I'm above somebody or trying to be the one who's, who they need to be afraid of or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, you've got great style, first of all, and I know that Mayor Morrell really likes your sneakers.
Well, secretly I wore these probably so he would see them and be happy about it. So.
Oh my goodness, that's great. So what led you to become a probation officer? Specifically?
Well, like I said, when I was in college, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I thought for a while that I wanted to be a lawyer, and then realized that I don't like to read and can't really do that sort of thing without reading very much. So then it was more a thing of like, okay, well, you've got policing, you've got jailers, you've got probation, you've got all this stuff. And I, from the beginning, I want to be the one who's on people's side. I don't want to be the one who's trying to arrest people or, get people in trouble. I want to be the one that's there to help people get out of that stuff.
Right. No, that's a really good,
and so,
good avenue.
So I interned in Delaware County with the adult probation department there. And all the other guys that I had in my class that were interning with these officers who were completely burned out, had no interest in being there. The whole time that they did their internship, they just sent them down to the basement to organize files and stuff and never really got to see any of it. But I got lucky enough that I got a guy, Phil Johnson, who was an elderly man. I don't know, he was probably only 50 at the time, but he felt like he was elderly to me then. He was a recovering alcoholic who had been through the system, had changed his life, was there to help people, to guide people and all that stuff. And he actually let me jump in and meet with people and do the actual work, and I could see his heart for people. And I got a million times better experience out of it than any of the other guys in my group did. And from that point on, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to help people out any way that I could and to try and break the cycle of over and over and over offending.
Wow, that is fascinating. I love that. That you were able to make that connection with someone who not only had a lot of experience, but he had overcome his own challenges. And so now I would love to talk about, what I love about how Marion works is we get to talk about all the different facets of the city government. And really, it's also from the perspective of, okay, if the listener is wondering if they ever want to get a job with the city, what avenue would they take? And there's so many different fascinating facets of the city. Yeah. So what are all of your responsibilities, Brent?
Well, so the main responsibility I have is meeting with clients. So I've got a caseload of almost 2,000 people that I've got between formal and informal probation. Formal people are the ones that I have to meet with on a regular basis. Informal people are ones that I keep track of on paper and just try to keep from them getting in more trouble.
Gotcha. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Why is there that dynamic?
Well, the other thing about the city court that I work for, it's a misdemeanor court only. So we don't deal with any felony things. So a lot more of what we do there is just, we're either dealing with younger people that it's the first time that they're getting in trouble, and we're just trying to give them a little bit of a slap on the wrist, a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling to keep them from wanting to do it again. Mm-hmm. Or we're getting people that are more career offenders but haven't really pushed their way up to the real serious stuff yet, because we deal with everything from, driving while suspended to minor theft to, batteries and marijuana possession and stuff. That, yes, they're crimes, but in the grand scheme of things, I'll take any of those over, a murder or something like that any day.
Yeah,
I've completely lost my train of thought.
No,
You're fine.
That's interesting. I'm learning a lot already. So, and you have your own little office space that is your job is on the city website. Your job is listed and your office is listed under the courts.
Right.
But on our contact sheet in City Hall, you're listed under the police department. So, which department are you under?
We're definitely with the courts. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if for several years our office was located inside the police department, just because that's the only place that they had room for us. So maybe that's where it was kind of an old thing that got us stuck on there. But we report to Judge Howell, the judge of the court, and I do all my work with the city clerk's office and with the court. So I don't have anything to do with the police other than just talking to them about cases and stuff. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Great.
So you have one assistant. Is she Jenny Cassidy?
Yes.
Is she full-time or part-time?
She is part-time. She's there 3 days a week, and she's awesome.
She
Couldn't
is
ask
so
for anything better.
amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She is really nice. She used to be with the county.
Yep.
So she has a lot of experience. Sounds like she's a really great asset in your office.
Yeah.
What are her duties?
So she is my administrative assistant. She, answers phone calls. She pays bills. She, works on mainly finance stuff and does a lot of record checking for the county probation department and stuff like that. She's just my right hand. She's awesome. She came in here with a million times more experience than she probably ever needed to have to be able to do the job she's doing. She just was retired from the other stuff and wanted something to do, and I gave her something to do.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, she's awesome.
That's needed. And so does she ever talk directly with are they called offenders? What's
Usually
the
just
term?
called clients.
Clients.
Yeah.
Okay.
She does. I mean, I try to not make her do that, any more than she absolutely has to. She likes to do it, but, that's not her job and her responsibility. So when people will come in for appointments with me, she'll talk to them. She'll ask them, things and guide them where they need to go. But unless I just happen, because the biggest problem that I have is I'm the only probation officer for the city. Mm-hmm. So, and I have been that way since 2012. So it's kind of like, well, I need to take a vacation now, but the rest of the world doesn't stop when I go on vacation. So
we
sometimes,
hear you, Deana.
Yeah.
Deana, right?
Yeah,
we
sure.
do.
So sometimes some of that falls on her when, I'm not around and we've got people coming in asking questions and stuff, but she does a great job with them.
Yeah, we have 2 full-time in our department as well, so we can definitely commiserate.
Yeah, for sure.
Does she feel comfortable in dealing with the clients?
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
Yeah, because we now that the people that I have coming in, I don't think that I've ever, maybe other than once or twice in the whole time, ever felt scared of anybody that's come in there. They're not coming in angry or, or wanting to do anything. Plus with the security that we've got, we know that nobody's coming in with anything they shouldn't have anymore. So yeah, she's happy to talk to people and everybody comes in and a lot of them just have questions, random little life questions, and she's happy to help them with that stuff.
Gotcha. So I'm curious to know what a week looks like, because I know you have a certain schedule that's really, it's a routine schedule every single week. What does that week look like? So
we have city court on Mondays and Thursdays. Monday starts at 1:30, and those are mainly for driving offenses, driving suspended and operator never licensed, things like that. And then we have inmates that we do on video from the jail. And then Thursdays are the days that we have a little bit longer. Those, those usually start at about noon or 1:30. We have the non-driving stuff. We've got inmates, and we have trials that are set for those days. So that's when those are some of our longer days.
Oh, I was going to say, those are really busy days.
Yeah, they can be.
Yeah, so today it's a Thursday. So you have court that starts at noon, and then you just don't even know when it's going to end.
Yeah, sometimes we get lucky and we're out of there at 3:00. Sometimes it's 7:30 or 8. You just never know what it's going to be. So.
Okay, so when it's not a court day, what do you do on the other days of the week?
The rest of the time is just, spent answering phone calls, answering emails. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants something, and I'm trying to help out.
You have appointments?
Yeah, I do. I'll have appointments that'll come in. They'll meet with me, face to face. I also do appointments with people over Zoom and FaceTime, texting, emailing, phone calls, all that stuff, just kind of depending. It's really up to me to decide who needs what, how much face-to-face time that, certain people need. And so then they'll come in, we'll chit-chat, we'll talk about how their lives are going and things that they need, services that they might need from me.
Gotcha. Yeah. It sounds like it's a workload for just one probation officer.
Yeah, for sure. Because we had the first, I think, 5 years that I was here, there were 2 full-time officers. And then the city got into a little bit of a budget crisis, and they decided that they wanted to bump it down to just 1. So then ever since 2012, it's just been me by myself.
I was going to say, you don't have any other helpers other than Jenny.
Yeah. And then I had a secretary that was with me the whole time, Marion, who she retired in 2020 right before COVID started. And so then from 2020 until I think 2022, it was just me. I hadn't, I didn't even have a secretary or anything.
Oh, wow.
And then Jenny happened to come along, and that was the best thing that could have happened. So.
Well, that's great.
Yep.
So I'm going to take a real quick break, just to invite you guys to stay connected with the city by following City of Marion IN on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, and TikTok, as well as our website, cityofmarion.in.gov, and the latest communication feature, My Marion app. It is a free download through your Apple Store or the Google Play Store. All right. Yeah. I hope you guys are on that app and you're staying connected with the city. So we're going to do our second icebreaker with Brent. Name your top 2 to 3 live music venues.
So, I think that everybody's probably going to say Ruoff, a.k.a. Deer Creek. It's never going to be anything but Deer Creek to us.
Right.
Yeah, that's where I've seen, 90% of all the shows that I've been to. It's the best time of the year in the summertime. Mm-hmm. I've also seen Pearl Jam twice at Wrigley Field in Chicago, which was just amazing.
I've never seen a concert there.
Yeah, so they put the stage up out in the outfield, and then they've got seats all over the field, and then people in the stands and stuff. And you've never lived until you've heard 50,000 people singing elderly woman behind the counter, in unison, and you can just see the place shaking, and it's amazing. So yeah, I would go 1,000,000 times over to see shows there. That
would be quite an amphitheater.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, so that would be your top one. So any others come to mind?
Yeah, other than those 2 places, everything else kind of just seems pretty much the same. Mm-hmm. We've seen shows at Lucas Oil, seen shows at Banker's Life and stuff like that. acoustically, not the best things in the world. You know, sometimes the sound's not great. The Palladium in Carmel, I went there not too long ago. That place is awesome, though. That's acoustically, it's awesome. It's beautiful. Everything about it is a good place too. So it's just small and intimate too, and I like that.
Well, speaking of Wrigley Field, do you go to Cubs games a lot? I know that you're also a Cubs fan.
Right, I am a Cubs fan. I have not been up there for a Cubs game in a couple years. I've gotten kind of to the point where I'm old enough to where like that drive from about Peru to Chicago on 31 is the most miserable drive in the entire world to me. So it's so long and it's so boring. And, you know, we used to just go up there in the morning. We'd get up at, at 5 a.m. and drive up and go to a Cubs game and then come home afterwards. And now, like, I need to stay the night. I'm not going to drive that home and get home at 2 in the morning anymore. My bedtime's 9 p.m. I can't stay up that late anymore.
It's not that convenient. I mean, it is convenient, but it's not.
Right.
Yeah, I've hopped on a bus, the YMCA, up to Wrigley Field.
Oh, yeah.
And we got to see the Cubs play the Yankees, and it was Derek Jeter's last game.
Oh, wow.
So I got to take
awesome.
my mom and dad and a lot of people from Marion, and we just had a blast. It was one of the best days ever. It was so hot, though.
I bet.
So, yeah, Wrigley Field is amazing in a lot of different ways.
Yep.
All right, Deana. What do you think for live music venues?
Well, I was definitely going to say Ruoff. And
because it's
Old National.
Yes, I'm glad that you brought that up. Formerly the Murat.
Exactly.
Yeah, they had the Egyptian room. I've even been in their basement when they had a New Year's Eve concert there. Have you ever been in the basement, like that kind of a venue? Yeah, there's like a cocktail bar down there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's huge. It's a lot bigger than you think. You can kind of just get in there and explore when you're at a show. Just take the elevator and just explore.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, that's a great venue. I got to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers along with a lot of other great bands in Napa, downtown Napa, California. And it was called the Bottle Rock Music Festival.
Oh.
And what I loved about that space was, yes, they had their makeshift stages and everything, but they brought all the wineries to you. You didn't have to go to all the wineries in California.
Wow.
They're all in one place, and that was just a neat experience.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And I thought the acoustics were great everywhere. So yeah, I mean, Ruoff is one for sure. But yeah, we've named some good ones. There's the Palace Theater in Columbus, Ohio. That's really nice as well. And I just have to give a shout out to the new Gas City Performing Arts Center because I have not been to a show there yet. But I read recently they got a big award in the state of Indiana for excellence in their construction, and it makes me excited to go see a show in Gas City.
For sure.
It's
Definitely
really cool.
looks amazing.
Like right in our backyard.
Right. Yeah.
Go Gas City. Okay, so we are going to we're going to kind of pivot a little bit and talk about if there's other struggles that you're facing, whether it's the court system itself, we hear about the delays, there's always these delays that with the court system. Do you feel like the probation department has its own delays that you wish could be quicker? Are there any other struggles that you think?
Well, I mean, definitely the biggest thing is just lack of funding and resources in the area. We have a really big need for, mental health counseling, for
good topic.
For drug and alcohol counseling, for family counseling, for addictions, all that stuff. We are being hit really hard with that right now, and there's just not a whole lot out there to be able to get the people the help that they need. So
when you're paying the bills, when you say Jenny pays the bills, what bills are you paying?
Well, I guess our department in general, we don't, everything that all the equipment and the the things that we use are all things that are given to us by the state. So the only people that we're paying is the city of Marion each month. The money that we bring in as far as probation fees and for things like that, we We do collect restitution money for people that are victims of crimes. Money comes in to help them with, doctor bills or cars that got broken into, or, theft from people that we send them their money back once we collect it. But otherwise, every dime that comes to us gets sent back to the city.
How Marion Works is sponsored by the City of Marion. This podcast covers the inner workings of city government to better serve you.
I gotcha. So it's, okay, that makes sense. So you're taking in a lot of different kinds of monies.
Right.
And then you mentioned off the air that you take in, or actually you pay a bill for bilingual assistance when that happens.
Yeah, not probation specifically, but the court does.
Okay.
We have one or two people that we contract with that come in when we need them to do mainly Spanish translation. I think the city pays $25.
Yeah.
$25 a court session for them to come in and do that. So it's not the worst deal in the world. If you come in and there's a few things to do, you can knock out $25 and get out of there. But it's not gonna make anybody rich, but it's definitely a thing that we need help with because we're seeing a lot more Spanish speakers, especially coming in through the court system. And unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of people through the city that really can help. So we're always searching for somebody that can give them what they need.
Yeah. Do you hear that, Deana? Brent, the probation department. We were talking off the air before you got here, and they struggle with that, and they get a lot of clients that they can't talk to them, and then so I know that there are certain people that are in City Hall that have helped, and I know, Deana, you are bilingual and you step in and help, and it's kind of a nice little reward, instead of just saying, okay, I helped out today, well, $25. That can almost fill your tank.
There you go.
There you go.
But Deana's probably like, no, I'm good.
I have enough on my plate.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
In an emergency, I'll come find you.
There you go.
Otherwise, we'll use somebody else.
Well, just speaking of the clients that you help and you develop relationships with them, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes kind of on a long-standing period. I mean, how long does that sometimes last?
Well, because of their misdemeanor cases, the longest that I can keep somebody on probation is a year at a time. But a lot of times they'll, if somebody comes in and they've committed multiple crimes, that they kind of will get stacked up. And so, I'll have somebody, most of the people are between 6 months and a year. A few times I've had people for 4 or 5 years just because, they've got so many things all in one little piece of time. But you definitely get to know people in that amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably gives you some joy, just developing those relationships and knowing that you are making a difference one person at a time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't hear it quite as often as sometimes I can see it, because a lot of the people that come through are, a little jaded and, have had some bad experiences with the courts and law enforcement and things like that and are really reluctant to open up. But I keep on them. Yeah. I'm the shyest person that you'll ever meet in the world, but when it comes to my work and my job, then I can open up and do whatever I need to do. So, yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's a natural thing for you. Yep. That's great. Cool. So, yeah, with just the clients and dealing with them, I guess you have another facet of your job that I remember you wanted to say that you wanted to mention, and it is a social page. Did you say you have a social page, or?
Well, it doesn't have anything to do with my job at all.
How is that?
Yeah, no,
what is that?
So my wife and I started a YouTube channel here about 2.5 years ago. Just kind of needing a creative outlet. I'd never done anything like that before. It was just kind of we watch a lot of videos and and see people doing stuff and thought, hey, we should get out and do this ourselves. And so, we've started this channel where we're doing entertainment and travel and food reviews mainly.
Okay.
So yeah, we've grown a lot. In the last couple of years, we just crossed over 5,500 subscribers on there. And
wow!
Oh, that's great. Yeah. What's the channel called?
It's called Brace Yourself.
Really?
Yeah. So my name's Brent. Her name is Grace. So those two combined is Brace.
Nice.
Yeah. So we just, over this past weekend, just hit 1 million overall views on our channel too.
Nice.
Which,
cool.
if you're for what we do, they're all long form videos, like 15 to 30 minutes long. So it's a lot harder to get things to go viral on long videos than it is like a TikTok that's 10 seconds long.
Right.
You know, I'll get on there sometimes just to look at things, and it's like, there's just, this guy twerking and he's got 52 million views and stuff. And it's like, why? You know, yeah, exactly. So,
Do you show your clients that channel?
the twerking channel or my personal channel?
Oh, gee.
But yeah, so we're really proud of it. We've honestly, it's grown to the point where, you know, like we're getting recognized out in public sometimes now,
Wow.
you know,
That's
which is
so
weird.
cool.
Yeah. So a lot of what we do is here in central Indiana. A lot of what we do is down in Gatlinburg, which is where we spend a lot of our time on vacations and stuff. And they're a lot more of a touristy spot. So we do a lot of content down there. But this past time when we were down there, we got like 5 or 6 different people on the street. We're like, hey, you guys brace yourself. We watch your stuff. And it's like,
Nice.
That is
humbling,
cool.
weird, and awesome all at the same time. So yeah.
Yeah, that is so much fun. Is there a specific place or restaurant that sticks out to you that you've reviewed that maybe we need to know about?
Well, there's around in Indianapolis, I don't know, there's a bar pub called Fat Dan's that they've got 3 or 4 different locations down there. They have one in Broad Ripple that is just, it's essentially a Chicago bar. It's got, you know, there's giant murals of the Chicago Bears on the walls and Cub stuff. And they, you know, they serve Chicago dogs and
Nice.
smash burgers and pizza and all that stuff. It's just like the best place to go just to hang out at nighttime, you know, for us. So sometimes we'll just go out and book a hotel room down there just to go down and hang out at Fat Dan's.
Oh,
and,
my
so that we
word.
don't have to drive home that night. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Sounds like a cool place to
yeah,
be.
it's awesome. The food is delicious. The atmosphere is amazing. So yeah, it's great.
So speaking of like restaurants locally, have you ever reviewed anything locally? And if you haven't, what would it be? Like what restaurant would you kind of gravitate towards here?
Well, not necessarily local Marion. We've done videos at Payne's and at Ivanhoe's. Those were done when we had a lot lower following, and so they didn't get a whole lot of traction. So then we kind of like focus on bigger cities and stuff, just because that's what we're looking for views to come in.
Nice.
I mean, definitely, we really like, you know, going out to the Tomahawk out at the country club, and you know, there's the Plymouth
great
Club
place, too.
pizza is, you know,
yeah.
amazing, and you know, there's just so many good places in town to go. It's just a matter of, we can't really put out a whole lot of videos of, you know, the Green Olive and expect that we're going to get a whole lot of views on it. You know, we love going there,
Right.
but yeah.
I know a friend who does that, reviews on, actually he uses TikTok mostly.
Right.
And it is just, people latch on to that. And all you're doing is just kind of sharing information and, you know, getting the word out there about a really great place. You kind of have to have a good bubbly personality for it. I know this guy does. I know you do.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward
Somehow.
to like watching that.
Yeah, I'm definitely
hope
going to
you do.
follow
Yeah,
you.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever met your wife, Grace. So that'll be really cool to kind of see that and somehow.
Well, we even actually live streamed our wedding down there in Gatlinburg in
neat.
March when we got
That's
married. So, you know,
awesome.
we got all of our followers, because the majority of the people that watch our channel right now are retirement age. They're the ones that like the long form stuff, and the kids like the shorter stuff. So Grace is trying to get better at the Instagram and TikTok. I'm focusing all on that stuff. So we had people that were reaching out to us saying, I took off work today to sit and watch your wedding, you know, and stuff like that. And it was
goodness.
crazy. So yeah.
That is so fascinating. Another fascinating thing about Brent, Deana, is that he can make a peach cobbler like you wouldn't believe.
No way.
He bakes.
Yeah, I do. I cook and bake, and I like to bring treats in from time to time. I got scolded by the people in the court system because I was bringing in things too often, and they were eating too much and telling me, you have to quit doing this. So
gosh.
now it's just more on a special occasion type thing. So if anybody wants anything, just let me know, and I'm happy to make it for
That's
you.
awesome.
That's partially
I had
why
no
they
idea.
keep him around.
Exactly.
No, please let me know. Maybe we could partake
There you go.
maybe at the next special occasion.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if there's anything that you would love for the community to know that maybe they just have a misconception, or maybe you just want to get the word out about maybe the court system process, the schedule, anything at all.
Yeah. I think the biggest complaint, like you were saying earlier, is a lot of people are put off by the fact that things take too long. A lot of times in the criminal justice system, in the courts, that's not our fault necessarily. There are certain laws and rules out there that say that people, have a certain amount of time that they have to be given if they're asked it. Calendars get backed up. We only have so much room on court dockets. We're not purposely trying to push cases off years and years. We're trying to get them busted out, but there's just certain, due process that people need to have to be able to get stuff done. Like I said before, personally, I've got almost 2,000 people on my caseload. So I will get people from time to time that will be upset that, well, this person's getting away with too many things, or, you need to be coming to their house and checking on them, every day. And it's like, I just don't have enough time in the day, days in the week, hours, and to be able to do that. So we just kind of have to triage until we get better outpatient service type stuff, until we get, more money to do the things that we need to before we get more people to deal with the people. We're just doing the best that we can, and it's definitely not for a lack of trying or a lack of caring. It just, sometimes things happen, and we just hope that we can stop the big things from happening, so that we can, my job is to keep people out of jail, not to put them into it. That's what I realized a long time ago, is there's two types of people that do probation. There's the ones that want to be the tough guy that wants to get everybody in trouble, that likes locking people up and throwing away the key. And then there's people whose whole job is, I don't want to ever see you here again. And I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that doesn't happen. And that's definitely me.
Well, thank God for you.
Well,
and people like you. We need more of you.
I agree.
Absolutely. We need more of you.
So if there is someone that is looking to become a probation officer, is there anything that you would want to share that maybe if they're in the criminal justice system, or maybe they want to branch out and go to school and focus on criminal justice, what school would be good, or what would they need to study that would kind of help them in the real world? Yeah,
well, I studied criminal justice, which obviously, that's a big one. Psychology, social work, anything that deals with people and understanding people is really what you need. Honestly, to become a probation officer in Indiana, all you need is a 4-year degree and to pass a test. So you could you could graduate with a business degree and you could be a probation officer. You just, have to learn what it's all about and take your tests and get your licenses and stuff. But definitely if you have the background in dealing with people and understanding what makes people tick and how to talk to people and stuff, that's going to give you a leg up.
That's very good. I appreciate that, because I know I've given you some questions today that maybe you weren't quite prepared for, but you've been answering the questions really well. This is giving us a really great sense of how Marion works in the probation division of city government. Brent, is there anything else that you would want to say before we start to wrap up?
I just want to thank you for having me. Yeah. I mean, I didn't think that I thought this would be the most boring episode ever, because I don't have that much to say and I'm not all that interesting to talk to, but hey, we did a good job and I appreciate you guys so much for having me.
Well, we
appreciate you.
There are a few departments out there that do feel that way. They, it's not like they don't have much to say, but maybe that they don't feel like their job is very important or what have you. But everything is important. I mean, I don't know what we would do without you.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate that. Yes. Make sure you remind the city, the city council of that when budget time comes up.
Absolutely.
We're all needed here. We're all doing great work.
Oh, yeah.
Keep us all around.
That's right.
Make the world go around.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And we want to thank you, listeners, for tuning in to How Marion Works. Follow us on social media, listen on Apple, Spotify, and all other major podcast platforms. Episodes release every other Monday at 5 a.m., so follow us on your favorite platform and know when they launch. All shows are found at howmarionworks.com. For Brent Harshman and Deana Vice, I'm Layla Price-Bodkin, and this is How Marion Works. See you next time.
listening to the How Marion Works podcast. We hope you'll join us next time.